What's up, guys? Welcome back to my little fighting game mini series where I teach you guys how to get pretty good at this stuff, I suppose. I don't know, you might be just watching this and be like, whatever, but I'm trying to cover these amount of stuff. Alright, so last time I mentioned or kind of just glossed over a lot of like fighting game terminology, like what all it meant, what it all does, and what it all means. But it's just like all like sort of floating around right now. Like, well, we have all these terms. Oh, what do we do with them? Like, how we incorporate this into a fundamental game plan of some kind where you can just like absolutely rock your opponent's socks off. Well, I'm happy to tell you that this is gonna be the first video that's gonna start explaining that. Although right now it's just gonna be basics. It's not gonna be anything too specific. I'll probably do like future videos that like dedicated to specific things about these. So for right now, I'm just going to teach you how to learn a fighting game character, just like from the ground up. And then I'll teach you how to fight against an opponent and all that good stuff. So, but before that, let's say you're either new to a fighting game or you're like between characters. So, if the first thing you have to ask yourself is, what kind of fighting game character do you want to pick up? Like, do you want someone like Armor King who, you know, has like a crap load of throws that can do a lot of damage, like Giant Swing or like Tombstone? Or do you want someone like Bruce who has like a lot of counter hits and can really lay a smack on the opponent if they make even a wrong move? There's also a lot of other characters like just like giant heavy hitters, like maybe like Nightmare from Soul Calibur, or like just someone that's like generally balanced, more like someone like Ryu or Ken from Street Fighter. There's a few archetypes out there. Sometimes in like Arc System Works games with BlazBlue and Guilty Gear to get really crazy with them. But for I'm not gonna really focus on like specific like archetype builds. I'm just gonna like take you through like the process of learning a character. So once you sort that out and you figure out what kind of character you want to use, it's time to go ahead and start learning some of the stuff. You don't start learning a character yet. Learn just how to play the game. You know, just like learn your movement, learn your spacing, get muscle memory down. Muscle memory is a big one. Like, you gotta know on a dime how you're gonna want to move and what you're gonna want to do to like keep distance from your opponent. Because again, the number one thing you could use to screw your opponent over, and the thing that'll give you the biggest edge in any fighting game, is if you learn your spacing. If you learn how to space and control distance, you pretty much won. Like, an opponent who's just gonna like sit there and just like guard all day, you can just back up and you're like, yeah, screw you. I'm just gonna like run in and do whatever I want and just get a free mix-up on you, asshole. Ha! So, yeah, definitely get muscle memory down. Learn just how to play the game. You know, a fighting game may seem intimidating with the way I'm talking about, but at the end of the day, it's still a video game. So just, you know, learn how to handles, learn controls, get used to it. Good stuff. Just have fun with it. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. Just have fun with it while you're like just learning how to move around and do all this stuff. Like, with Tekken, for a long time, I could never figure out how to size up like effectively, like whatsoever. Like, because I played Soul Calibur for so many years, I was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna hold up. Nah, holding up lets you jump. Holding down, like just straight up holding down lets you duck. You gotta double tap in order to actually move around. So again, if you're between fighting games, you really gotta get your muscle memory down if you're gonna be getting anywhere. Because if you can't move, you're pretty much screwed already, man. You just like give up and go home. But anyway. So once you get all that down, yeah, there's some small stuff you can learn like parries, but parries are more like secondary defense. It's not your primary defense. It's just there if you want to, like, if you know your opponent's gonna do something and it's telegraphed and you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna defend that. It's not mandatory, but it is nice to throw into your game every once in a while. But if you're playing Tekken, one thing you absolutely do want to learn, let me just set this up for defensive training. If you're learning Tekken, you definitely want to learn how to do low parries. Low parries will definitely help you out in the long run with this. Like, it's not even hard at all. Like, you just gotta telegraph a low and then just press down forward. Yeah, just straight up down forward. It's not even hard. It's just like you just gotta telegraph the opponent. And it's not like just frame either. It's just straight up parry and you basically got it. There's also other parries that Armor King has. Like, I think I can get this down. Give me a sec. Alright. Actually, no, hang on a sec. I have a better idea how to do this. I've been watching a lot of Avoiding the Puddles, so I got this. Okay, so just right up that. We'll guard it, then parry it. So Armor King has like a couple of unique parries. Like he's got parry that'll guard like left punches and right punches. I'm not sure if they're interchangeable though. Let me see. Okay, yeah, they are. There's just like 4 different punches. All right. So it's all well and good, but again, this is all supplemental stuff. You don't need to learn it, but it's cool to know and just have in your back pocket in case you need an ace up your sleeve. Alright, so with that out of the way, so you learn the basics. You just improve yourself as a character, as a player first. Now you can actually start learning your character. So, but before you can, so just like pick up your character, start fucking around, but before you start delving deep into it, you want to do a little bit of homework. Like, it's impossible to just like pick up a character and just expect to automatically know everything about it. Unlike a lot of people I know who make that assumption. They just pick up a character like, oh, I'm just gonna use Steve Fox and just abuse moves all day. Oh, I got this shit. It's all good. Nah. Because unless you do research, you probably won't know Armor King has a really useful back one as a counter hit launcher. I always meant that anyway. But you know what I mean. Like study, research, like just learn from experts. Just go online, look at forums like if you're looking for Street Fighter, shoryuken.com is a great place to go to learn. Soul Calibur, there's a website called 8wayrun.com, although I'm not sure if that website is still running anymore. They might still do stuff, I'm not sure, because Soul Calibur's community is kind of like gone, but anyway. And for Tekken, Tekken Zaibatsu is definitely like a go-to place for it, as well as like a very small like YouTube people who do like guides for this stuff. You'll find like an infinite amount of guides for Street Fighter, but I find that if you want quality guides, you're gonna want to like trace around a little bit on YouTube. Like probably the best guides I've seen for Tekken guides is definitely what do they call it? Level Up Your Game. They are like really efficient at it. As for Soul Calibur, avoiding the puddle does stuff every once in a while, but that guy Eris over on that channel is kind of more like a Tekken kind of guy. So again, watch those guys, learn from the best, and definitely make it a point to watch Tekken watch tournament footage at some point or another for the character you're trying to learn. Like with me, I was trying to learn Armor King, so I naturally want to look up like JDCR and him taking Armor King to the top at Evo and just winning Evo 2014 for Tekken. You'll no matter what skill level you're at, you're gonna learn something from the pros. Like if you're a beginner, you'll get an idea of how just to use the character. If you're like an intermediate player, you'll learn some like ground stab techniques, and if you're an advanced player, well, you can see some of the top level shit that the guys over there do. So again, you always have something to gain from watching tournament footage for a fighting game character. So yeah, just like watch Evo, watch various online matches. Although I'd say online matches aren't as reliable because it's various levels of skill go into that, but again, it's just like definitely pay attention to like the higher tier guys. They know what they're doing. So anyway, now that's out of the way. Yeah, do your homework and you should be fine. Now, to actually start figuring out why you want to use a character. Well, definitely try to pick up on the notion of why this character is like valued. Like Armor King, definitely for his throws and for Giant Swing, especially for the subs going into Giant Swing. Like you have like a lot of subs going to this. Bruce is a valuable character because he's a very good Bulldog character. He's got some solid mix-ups, and he has a total of 16 fucking launchers. That is a lot. I dare say that is one of the highest numbers in Tekken also. Like, between all his regular launchers, his like standing launchers, counter hit launchers, and just like follow-ups, he's got some of the best launchers in the game, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, like, just learn why the character you want to pick up is valuable and why it's so revered in the eyes of like the fighting game community and what people will do with them. Like I can't give you any examples because I could just like go all over the board with this stuff, but also look for tier lists. Like figure out where your character like places like around a tier list. Like Bruce I think is like mid to high tier. Armor King is definitely pretty high tier. But I don't use, but never pick up a fighting game character because of how high they are in a tier list. That's really sentimental shit. Like, you can just pick up, like, a really good character like Armor King, be like, oh, I'm just gonna rock and roll with Armor King. I don't even give a shit. I'm just gonna like spam down back 3 all day and expect to win. Which on the online you might get to a certain degree, but truth be told, you're not gonna win anything. But just by abusing this over and over again. But yeah, never take a tier list for granted. There's always ins and outs for it. There's always different opinions, and it's really just like used as like a measuring stick of how good some characters are and how they stack up against others. And also, the bottom of a tier list never means a character's bad. Like, who's bad? Alyssa, Lily, and Angel are generally pretty bottom tier characters in this game, and they're like pretty badass in Tekken 6, except Angel, he wasn't there. This doesn't mean that they're unusable. This just means that they don't have as many amazing setups as some other characters like Mishima's or the Kings or any other characters like that. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'll talk about tier lists in some other video and you'll know that. Alright, so now we can actually start learning a character. Now you're armed with this knowledge. It's like you know what top level players know, or like what to do with Armor King, or what to do with Bruce, or any other character you're trying to pick up. You know what you want to do. And if at this point you're looking at your character and you're like, I don't know if I can do this, like if it requires like electric wing God Fist inputs, or the moveset is just like too deep, too intricate, requires too much input, you can go ahead and change someone else. Like no one's criticizing you for using an easier character. Like fuck, everyone online uses easy characters. Only like people who are daring really go for like the high execution characters. I'm not saying by any means I'm a ballsy guy for using Armor King for who has a fucking Shining Wizard, which is really hard to use. But I just use them for like personal reasons and all that good stuff. So yeah, if it's at this point you want to change characters, go ahead and just repeat the process and figure out why you'd want to use that character and all that good stuff. Also, there's nothing wrong with using a character exclusively because of how they look or the backstory. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that just means that you're probably going to be using a moveset you're a little uncomfortable with. Just bear that in mind. But other than that, you can totally adapt to it. It's just going to require a little bit more time. But anyway. So, now we know what's going on. You want to first, before anything else, before you learn punishers, pokes, you learn about combos, you want to learn what moves make a character really good. Like, I can definitely say for Armor King, it's like Dark Upper, 3+ forward, like this crazy like drop kick style, just mess up your opponent. Tombstone Power Driver, as well as mix up between that and Giant Swing. Down 4-1, just also 2-1, just like poke your opponent out. You generally want to learn what badass moves your character has. Like if they have a strong launcher, if they have fast pokes that can just like keep your opponent out, or just any moves in general that go into what makes them a solid character overall. Also any low attacks they may have. Armor King's best lows are definitely like down back 3 and like down 3. Definitely good stuff, and really fundamental for his mix-ups. Also for like Bruce, he's got like shit. I can't like go over any of his moves, but like his de facto move would definitely be like his back 2, just because it's a really strong mid attack that's safe and is a counter hit tool, and it's really strong and it's good. But yeah, anyway. So learn your core moves, the stuff that it really makes up your character and what makes them high, like puts them on the certain spot of the tier list. And now we can move up from there. Now, you're gonna wanna. Oh wait, shit, I actually missed one. Actually, no. Before you even learn core moves, you wanna learn a neutral game. And actually, I missed this while I was going over my last video over a fighting game that I finished. But a neutral game is when you and your opponent aren't even doing anything. You're just like moving around, spacing your opponent out. You're just like creating distance and just like feeling each other out. You know, like a neutral game, it's just creating distance, spacing, just watching what your opponent does and waiting for him to make a mistake to like do a crazy strong whip punish on, or just like I don't know, like just getting into like right position. Bear in mind, this video is gonna get pretty deep into like fighting game theory. So it's going to get a little complex. I won't be able to elaborate everything here since I'm still learning some of this stuff myself. But neutral game, I'm not really certain how to describe it. It definitely involves like just spacing of some kind. Now I know this is a really deep end of the pool right here, but if you know how to create distance, you're pretty much safe. It, again, just like spacing and all that good stuff. Alright, so then you have your core moves. Now let's go over pokes. Pokes, again, in case you missed it before, are moves that can't be punished because they recover way too quickly for your opponent to get counterattack on. So like Army King's best pokes are definitely like 2-1, down 4-1, 3+4, 3+4, down 3, which is punishable, but it's quick, it's unseeable, and it's generally his least punishable low he has that's still reliable. But again, that's just like getting it like most low attacks in this game are unsafe. Excuse me. But if it recovers quickly, you can label it as a poke. It's honestly not bad. Okay. Also, like, maybe that. I'm not sure if I labeled it as a poke or not, though. I don't even know if it's safe or not. As for Bruce, take your pick. Really. But anyway, pokes. Definitely have other punishers like Armor King, -10. He's got 2-1. -12, he's got back 2-1. For 14, he's got Dark Upper and forward 1+4. 15, he's got forward 2-1. And he's got hop kicks. Again, depending on your punishing game, depending on your game, if it's like Street Fighter, Skullgirls, Blaze Blue, you're always gonna have punishers, and you always gotta want to punish your opponent depending on what they do. So definitely always keep your punish game in mind. Also, there's also different kinds of punishers too, like some that give you knockdown, some that give you frame advantage. 2-1 is definitely valuable, not because it does a lot of damage. Well, it actually is a respectable amount of damage. Some characters have a garbage 10 frame punishers. Armor King's is amazing because not only is it 10 frames, it does 29 damage, which is alright. But you can also set up into his throw game because it's +7 on hit, which gives you like a 7 frame lead. You can use that to buffer in a fucking giant swing and just make them eat it. Like, they either have to break it or they have to see it coming. They can't interrupt it like whatsoever, so they're forced into a mix-up, which is like fantastic. You can just abuse this all day. But anyway, yeah, there's definitely different kinds of punishers like knockdowns, launchers, frame advantage. No, I'm sure that will do. Yeah, you got those are the 3 main launchers you're gonna be dealing with. Launchers that will launch an opponent for fewer frames are generally more valuable. Like Kazuya is one of the only characters I know, actually the only character I know of in this game who has the 13 frame launcher. So like, again, I'm not sure if this applies to a lot of fighting games, but anything that nets you a lot of damage for fewer frames are definitely like very good. So like what's it got? Back 1-2 is not gonna consider good. However, Bruce has a fantastic 10 frame punisher with 1-4-3, which is, I think it's called like standing cross or something like that. It's something like that. But this is a strong one of the strongest 10 frame punishers in the game because it does 38 damage, which is pretty solid. It's right behind Jin's 2-1 or 2-4, which is like the strongest in the game. And then after that, he's got Bruce's punishment game is actually really solid. Like 4-2-4, you get 42 pushes damage, which is nuts for a 12 frame punisher. Like that's something you only really see with like Mishima's or Lars or some other characters. But yeah, well, I'm rambling a little too much about punishers. I think you get the general idea. Definitely learn how fast the move is so you can punish accordingly, and what does it like net you. So like I would definitely say Bruce has a better punish game than Armor King does. But I would probably say Armor King probably has slightly better pokes, but that's just me. That's all opinion, but anyway. So going down the list, now we have combos. Oh, this is where it gets good. Now you might just think of it as like, just pick up, I don't know, like just pick up a fucking launcher, and just go to town, just like bound to hell your opponent and just like go nuts. No, there's a lot more to it than that, because as I said before, there's also such thing as counter hit launchers, which is pretty tricky. How the hell do you even? Okay, I know there's a way you can combo off of Armor King's standing 4, but I don't know what it is. But anyway, like Bruce's back 2, one hell of a combo launcher or counter hit launcher. Definitely want to learn that if you're learning Bruce, but that's just why I'm trying to get across. There's learning your different kinds of launchers, how you can implement them, and where you want to place them. So like with Bruce, if you're like in a trading, like a blow trading war with your opponent, and they're just like going nuts, back to them all day, like just so you can just get a good counter hit. Not even, like, he's got so many good counter hits. Like, standing 4 launches, 10 frames fast, ridiculously good range. Unfortunately, it's high, but that's not really relevant. Armor King's stupidly good back one counter hit launcher because it's 12 frames, which is nuts. So unless they're jabbing and they're probably not gonna they're probably gonna get launched. So yeah. Also, word of warning: only really use counter hit launchers if you know your opponent's gonna do it, or if your opponent's just going absolutely ham beast. Like they're just like pressing buttons all day. Like say I'm using Armor King, I'm just going crazy with just like all these different moves. Like Double Jim would be able to launch me at that point. Yeah, and then there's just the straight vanilla launchers that just like get your opponent up in the air. For Street Fighter, you actually don't have like launchers strictly speaking. What you have is like strings that go into like high damage combos. But again, that's more semantics. That's just like a combo starter. Just to like replace it with something else, and you're pretty much got the same thing. Anyway, but yeah, for the combos themselves, well, you have a few different options. What you got is a couple of different things. What you have is like, hang on a sec. So I'm just gonna like ignore the second hit there. I'm just gonna let the opponent drop, so that way you can just like run in and go for like a mix, like a ground game of some kind. Again, that's like more technical stuff, but because you do want to learn your ground game, implementing a strong ground game with a combo is actually really sweet, because your opponent probably won't be expecting you to be dropping a combo so like on purpose and then sacrifice damage to like launch them again. That's tricky stuff, but do learn it if you can do it. Like I know Bruce has a pretty strong ground game. I just not really sure how to make good use of it yet. Again, I'm still learning these characters as I'm going, but I still got a ways to go before I'm actually really good with some of them. Alright. And of course, just like, there's also the generally high damage combo that would just come out of like just, you know, let me see if I can land this. Bam, bam, forward. Ah, come on, there's a way to land that. Well. And then there's just straight damage that you can get out of a combo. So a combo can go either one of 3 ways. It can go for damage, it can go for ground game, or it can go for wall carry. If you're playing with a game that has meter bars, you can do combos that get you a lot of meter, and so on and so forth. So combos at the end of the day aren't meant strictly for just damage. They can be used for a lot of other purposes. They're generally like a very good multi-purpose tool for doing stuff as well as doing damage. Alright, so now that's out of the way. That's generally like the top bracket I want you to learn when you're trying to do a character. Like first, neutral game, and then you got your core moves, punishers, pokes, and combos. Those are like the top brass of what you want to learn when you pick up a character. From here, you're basically set. You can honestly just go online right now and start winning a bunch of shit, but I want to go a tournament with just this knowledge alone. You're gonna need a lot more than just these just straight stuff. I mean, I know I said zoning will net you a good amount of will get you good things, but if you go into a tournament, odds are these opponents know all this stuff and more, especially about your character. A good tournament goer will study multiple characters and multiple matchups as well as know how to deal with them. But that's gonna be like when I start going further down the list. Alright, so next up, we are going to go over mix-ups. Your general mix-ups would be like between lows, mids. If you're playing Street Fighter, lows and overheads. Or if you're playing a throw character, it'll be between mid attacks, low attacks, throws, and maybe the occasional unblockable. But honestly, I've never seen that move before. I would not stick to unblockables unless you're playing a character who's specifically designed around unblockables or is good exploits. Like if you're studying the character, if you see people referencing like I don't know, like good unblockable setups at the wall, you can learn that. But honestly, that's just like miscellaneous tactics right there, like I said before. Again, mix-ups can be a number of things. They're just more mind games to beat your opponent's defense. So let's go over some good stuff, alright, shall we? Alright, so let's say that Devil Jin here is like just going hand beast. I'm gonna land counter hit. Well, I can throw this out. I can launch him with down back 3, which will make him definitely scared for attacking. Assuming he's someone who has the presence of mind to know that he's gonna get a counter, that me using down back 3 will get counter hit. So he starts just ducking. Well, when he's ducking, I can hit him with 4-2-1 to either wall splat him, or I can use a hop kick to not only get a wall splat but also get a good amount of damage out of it too. Again, it's you want to like keep your opponent on their toes and make him essentially make them guess what you're going to be doing, but you don't want to get predictable. Like say you go for the age-old tactic of like mid attack, low attack, or like low, mid. It's like this is just like a 1-1-2 or like 2-2-1 strategy. You'll see this a lot with like advanced players. They'll just use this 2-2-1 tactic a lot to break an opponent, especially against the beginning player. You'll see that the opponent will take the 2 low hits, and then you're like, oh shit, I gotta start ducking because they're probably gonna do it. And then you see them get hit with a mid, and then they'll probably get launched because of the mid attack. That's a pretty bread and butter mix-up you'll see a lot online. And of course, the clever players who know about it will just like keep crouching, even though it seems asinine to do. But you can just like keep crouching, and the string will be broken. Again, this is a pretty fundamental string that you'll see a lot of players abuse. Would I advise using it only against beginner players? Like if you're just solid with your mix-up, you can do it. But that's again getting into some like psychological aspects right there. Like, does your opponent know you're gonna break the mix-up? Does he know that you're gonna do it? Are you gonna do it because he knows you're gonna do it? Again, that's getting to like some Sun Tzu shit right there. So I'm not gonna cover that too in detail right now. I'm just again showing all the good stuff. Bruce's mix-up is like this: standing 3, down 4. That's it. He doesn't really have a lot in the mix-up department actually. But to make up for that, he's got really strong counter hit tools, and he's got really other solid tools as well. Unfortunately, Bruce doesn't really have any low attacks that aren't launch punishable, besides down 4-3. But even that's kind of predictable. All it does track. That's nice. Alright, so moving on. Okay, ground game. I cannot stress this enough. Actually, I did make a mistake in the last video where I was like going to descending order of stuff you should learn. I actually think ground game should be below combos, because combos are how you're gonna win a round or win a match. But in higher tier play, ground game is where it's at. Okay, so what makes it a ground game? A character who has a low hitting move that will hit on the ground, and that will launch them if they try to stand up. So I'm just gonna have him like just straight up lie on the ground. Okay. So here's Devil Jin just lying on the ground like a retard. Okay, so walking around. He can do a standing 4 or like a get up 4, which will like kick me away. Or hang on a sec. I'm gonna illustrate this because this shit can do it. Wake up mid kick. Okay, so you see he does like a mid kick out of that. Well, he has the option of doing that. A good substitute for this in like Street Fighter would be like just like a wake up Shoryuken. Since invincibility frames, you can buffer it in there, so you're just like double invincible. However, I think if I guess he's gonna do that, I can, because I know that's minus 12 on get up. If I guess he's gonna do the mid, I can just launch. I can just do like a 12 frame launcher, or no, not 12 frame punisher, and he'll be defenseless against it. Same with Shoryukens. If you know your opponent's gonna do it, okay, that should have definitely punished right there. Hang on. Bam. What? Okay, I know that has more range than that. Okay, I'm just gonna hammer it now. Come on. What? Okay, so that's just weird. Bruce can't punish that. Armor King can. Bruce can't? That's bullshit. He's got a hell of a long ranged move. Weird. I'll have to look into that more later. Or the alternative, if your opponent decides to wake up with a low move, you can go for, well, minus 11. Minus 13. Or you can go big. Hang on a sec. I think hop kick works there, but I'm not sure. If it doesn't, hang on. That should do it. yeah, so, and get up kicks are actually more unsafe because you can launch them. I think Armor King can launch that. Hang on. Huh? Wow, I didn't know our get up kicks were only minus 13. Huh. That is something. Alright, so you can do that, or you can do that. So again, this is just like all visual example, like to show you how deep this pool can get. Also, a good telltale sign a guy is new into fighting game is if they're only using one type of get up. And Tekken that commonly be a back roll, and a back roll is gonna get you killed if you're up against a good player. Like hang on a sec. Jin's back rolling, catch him with the down 3-4, go around the combo, deadly stuff. With Armor King, I think he can just land. Oh, that's good stuff. I didn't know that. Actually, you can launch him with the down 3+4. Well, assuming I don't get the reset anyway. Hang on a second. I'm gonna give that one quick shot. Ah, crap. I think I need a crouch cancel something. Ah, shit. I'll probably extend more later, but you know what I mean. If you can telegraph the back roll, you can get some deadly shit on them. As well as 3+4 also just hits like on the ground normally. Like if there's lying on the ground, you can just use that and look at hit. Not a lot of damage, mind you, but it's still hitting them. And if they back roll, well, they're doubly fucked. Now I don't know all the other like options, like quick recovery. You can like get mixed up on them. Tech roll, you can like just chase them down, do stuff. I think for tech roll, hang on a sec. Where is it? Well, it's like something like that would be privy to Bruce's unblockable by which button is that? Fuck. I remapped all my buttons and now I'm screwed up. Oh, there it is. Okay, so he tech rolls. That wasn't what I was going for. Oops. Alright, but you know what I mean. Again, all this stuff only gets really deep when like a 3D fighter. In a 2D fighter, you're gonna have different options and all good stuff. So just plan accordingly what your opponents could be doing. So I think it was spent enough time on ground game. Throws. Learn your throws like all hell. In Street Fighter, you're not gonna really have a lot of throws depending on your character. Like if you're playing Ken, he's just gonna have like a standard like throw your opponent into a wall throw or throw them away from a wall throw, and so on and so forth. With Tekken, you have a lot of throws, and each one of them does different things. Like you saw there, the opponent is lying with their head towards me and their feet away. So if they try a get up kick, well, they're not really getting anywhere. With Armor King's 2+4, the left a little farther away, and it's not as like advantageous as like a 1+3. However, this is where it gets good. Since Armor King is designated as a grappler character, he has some devastating throws like Tombstone Pile Driver, and of course but even that pales in comparison to the fucking Giant Swing, the de facto throw in this game. Thank you very much. Yeah, Bruce does have some like 4+4, 3+4. I think someone mentioned like a 4+4, 1+2. Nah, they got that notation wrong. He's also got like chain throw. Like that. Oh shit, I completely forgot about that until now. Why didn't I think of that sooner? Chain throws. I love chain throws. I don't know if they exist in a lot of other games besides just Tekken. I think Virtua Fighter does. Shit, does Soul Calibur have chain throws? Maybe with Astaroth. Maybe with Rock. I'm not sure who else. But chain throws are like, hang on, I need to like show this off. Are command throws that you can execute as like certain things and get a different result. Like, shit. It's kind of hard to like illustrate like on its own. So let me just go down the list. Like this is the one I go for, Cobra Clutch, and it goes in like various other stuff. Like if watching the inputs, you can press like certain other combinations to go into further extensions of set throws. Now, bear in mind, these aren't unbreakable. If the opponent gets like the correct command break, they can break him. But generally speaking, these are some. This is a pretty powerful shit, and of course, I made a point to just learn the most powerful one he has. 3 count pound. I love it. It's either that or like some knockout pound. I don't know which one. And a quick word of advice when using throws. With the sole exception of Soul Calibur 5, there is absolutely no risk to just laying out a throw, except for the fact that if they're ducking, that's the only risk. If I don't know, like, but even then, they are privy to like some other types of throws. With throws, you have little to lose and everything to gain. Like literally, the only thing your opponent has to do is guess the mix-up, and if they aren't paying attention to you or your hands, which is something you need to pay attention to, in Soul Calibur you don't even get that chance. You just have to guess. They're gonna be in for some hell. Shit, I always get it wrong anyway. Yeah, the risk is that someone can be ducked. However, there are throws that can't be ducked. So again, or like, hang on a second, let me get this right. There are throws out there that even if they duck, they're still gonna hit, but they might just like get a different result. So, but honestly, if they're ducking, you just gotta want to launch them in all sincerity. So like, oh Jesus, he has a lot of ground throws. So like, if opponent's crouching, yeah, he can do a move that does that, but again, why do that when you can just launch them? But again, to most normal characters, the risk is that you can get ducked and they'll launch you. But even that, if you're your job as a throw character, or as someone who's throwing out a throw, God, I need to stop saying that, is to make it so you're not predictable. Again, the surefire way to get yourself killed in a medium to high level match is being predictable. Like, anything in this game can be beaten. Anything in most fighting game can be beaten, except for very few exceptions, which are just like either like wake up traps or like just like tech traps. You're not gonna have to worry about that. Again, you have a lot of things to gain by just laying throws rip. I am not doing very well with the Giants wing right now. Hang on. Whoop. Hang on a sec. I think. Okay, cool. So I gotta like adapt to using a PS3 controller for doing this kind of stuff, but you know what I mean. All right, so throw game, definitely learn it, and definitely learn the ground game that comes out of it. Like I said before, 3+4. Your opponent's really close to you with their feet pointing away, so you can get some nasty shit afterwards. Like, let me just illustrate that really quickly for you guys. Nope. Nope. There we go. Let me see if I can land 3+4 like rise attack rolling. Yeah, he got hit. Like, he just tried standing up like immediately. 3+4, right in the face, done. Actually, wait, would that even hit? 3+4, 2. Okay. Well, again, you know what I mean. Like, if they're staying that close to me, down back 3, they'll get hit. Again, just like intimidate your opponent. All right, I think I spent the time on that again. Homing moves. Learn. This more goes for like if you're like playing a 2D fighter, like hitboxes, like anti-air moves. Yeah, actually, the equivalent of like homing moves in Tekken would be like shoryukens or like anti-air attacks in a 2D fighter game. So, learn your damn, that hurt. Learn your opponent, learn your character's tracking moves. Like, I'll admit openly, both my characters have pretty bad tracking. The ones I'm using right now, like Armor King, kind of relies on like down 4 1+2 is like a dedicated tracking move. Like 4-4-3 or did he have one more? I think 4-4 did it. Nah, this shit. There it is. That does track to his side. But anyway, also learn what moves you have that also hit to the sides. Like Armor King's forward 4 or forward 3. You see how it comes up from his left side? That means if your opponent's just like sidewalking to the right, they'll get hit. So let me see if I can just quickly get that for you. All right. Shit. All right. And it got hit. Wait, that's not because... Nah, he just straight up got hit. You can do that, or you can just go for like a straight up pure homing move. Hang on, it's like let him do it. Yeah, again, if you're playing a fighting game, learning your anti-air moves like shurikens or stuff that hits air, like goes upwards. In general, that's what you want to be going for. So, Bruce, shit, I don't even know. Like down forward 4 tracks to Bruce's right, down forward 1 tracks to his left. 3 forward is a dedicated homing move. 4-4-3 is a dedicated homing move, which is mid. It's also safe, although it's got hell of a negative priority on it. Like if we're just a couple frames less on hit, he would be unsafe. But that's gonna get into tech traps, and I don't know why I should talk about that. I'm still debating on that. But and yeah, that's basically the gist of it. All right, so that's like the 3rd tier of what I want you guys to be learning. Remember, top tier is your core game, your neutral game, your movement, and all that stuff. 2nd tier, punishers, pokes, combos, and your core attacks. And 3rd tier would be mix-ups, ground game, throws, and homing moves. Alright, so now let's go into like bottom tier, what character you should be learning with the character, which is crush moves. I don't feel crush moves are mandatory, but they are nice to have. So with like along with like being in the same realm of like parries and all stuff like that. Alright, so crush attacks, I think this applies to Street Fighter also, I'm not sure. So like hop kicks, or generally any time your feet leave the ground, that's considered a high low crush. Like it'll beat a low attack. So let me just set it up and illustrate quickly for you guys. Alright. Oops. Hang on. Let me do that again. Not what I wanted. Okay, cool. Yep. I should alter the timing a little bit though. Yep. There we go. But yeah, you can see even when his hand is like all the way down at the bottom, my feet are leaving the ground in time for me to just straight up launch him. So that's the beauty of. Alright, moving on. Now let's examine what a low crush is, or a high crush. A high crush is when you hug the floor and you dodge your opponent's high attacks. In some cases, I think this would even crush a mid attack, depending. Like, let me just quickly show it. He has 2 sets of jabs. Both of them are high. 1-1. Yep, gone. You see that his jab was all the way out by the time the second one was out. And I mean, that's being a counter hit also. That's generally a good reason why you do want to use crush moves. It's because if your opponent's being like either like predictable or just like overly aggressive, you can throw it out. And if you're playing as like Lars or not Jinpachi, but someone else. Who else has a counter hit low sweep? Oh, Lily, duh. Or you could just like, I don't know, like straight up launch him. Shit, hang on. Oh yeah, that's right. Armor Kings actually doesn't really do that. Ah, crap. I'm pretty bad with like the wall standing punishers. I'm sorry, but anyway, you get it. You see that his low attacks come out, and actually his high attacks come out. And actually, I want to try to see. Oops, gotta remember to do the jab at first so I can get the timing right. Okay, let me see if I can actually mid crush that. Will work. Didn't you get sooner? Nope. Okay, so Devil Jin's down 4-1-2 just straight beats it. I have seen cases of like Heihachi's down back 1+2, which is like this crazy evasive maneuver that also tracks to both the sides. That move is fucking nuts, and it actually goes through some mids as well. That shit's crazy. But Armor King has no such moves, unfortunately. Unless we go like Second Revolution where you have full on invincibles, but that's not a crush move. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like if you're crouching and you're like doing like a low sweep in Street Fighter, I guess that can be considered like a crush move of some kind. But I'm not nearly familiar with Tekken or Street Fighter than with Tekken. But Again, just like look it up depending on the game, and you should be fine. Alright, so the last thing you should worry about when learning a new character is your unblockables. And again, there's a reason why this is the last. Because unblockables, yeah, they're nice to have, but doing them on open field is just asking for trouble. Like, with the exception of some, like Brian's taunt, which is absurdly good at walls and like just open field. Because if you do it and you have like pixel perfect timing, you can just get an unblockable launcher on them, and it's actually pretty fast too. But Armor King has no such thing. He has this, which is actually not bad, but you can get jabbed out of it. Like, I'm just gonna dissect Armor King's unblockable, which is his 1+4. Yeah, 1+4. It's cool. You can see actually low crushes, but your opponent will have to be pretty dumb to get hit by a low crush like that. However, if they're doing that, they probably won't have time to dodge. And as you can see, most... Ooh, can I do it? Nope. 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 Where is it? Hang on. I absolutely know for certain that Bruce has... It's either like 1+4 or 2+3. It's one of those tricky ones. Where the hell is it? Nope. That's his throws. That's his counter hit stuff. Shit, I'm not saying it right now. Oh wait, how the hell did I forget about probably this one? Nope. Capital punishment. Oh, that's a very good move. There we go. Capital punishment into down back 4, or no, what the hell am I talking about? And then holding down back gives you this ridiculously big unblockable attack, and it's actually not bad considering if you go over your opponent, you'll actually like track them. Like Armor King will adjust himself automatically without any use of any input. And it'll automatically hit your opponent like just like on turnaround. It's really good. It's actually, I should use this a lot more in Tekken Revolution, as well as just capital punishment in general. I did not use this move enough. It is really good. It's really good because it's like not only does it obviously low crush, but it's also completely safe on block. I think it actually gets plus frames. Hang on. If this fucking thing gets plus frames, this is gonna be like the best thing ever. Standing guard. Well, I don't think it has plus range, but it puts you what? One hell of an advantage, if not equal footing. Alright, so you have your character, your movement is pretty good, you know all the things that make a character pretty good, pretty solid. You have a pretty good mix-up game, throwing game, combos, pokes, punishers, maybe 1 or 2 steps for an unblockable if you're feeling ballsy, which I should explore more into unblockables personally, but that's just me. And yeah, you know how to keep your opponent pinned down with like homing moves. You know how to like screw with them. You know like the ins and outs of your character. You basically know how to really fuck with your opponent. Cause I'm not gonna lie, you could play honorably in some games, but if you're playing online, it's no holds barred. You want to piss your opponent off, like just absolutely with like fucking giant swing mix-ups. Wow, I can't believe I got that the first time actually. Wait, what the hell? Hang on. That's tricky, but anyway, you know what I mean? So, you have all this shit going on right now. However, you still have one more asset to worry about. It's your opponent. And I have a friend, my friend Conrad, recently got into Tekken, and he's telling me all about how many characters there are in the game, and it's pretty overwhelming for him. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Tekken does have a lot of characters, especially Tag 2 with like upwards of like around 50 characters, which maybe compared to like the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, that's minuscule. But in a game where you have literally 100 plus moves per character, that's a lot. That's a lot of shit to take in. However, there are general workarounds without having to get too deep into any certain character. And let's start with how you can beat your opponent in a general fashion. I'm going to get to specific setups later. That's not good for right now, and I have a lot of work to do. A lot of work for that video actually. But anyway, so from if you're just playing like you usually are, and you don't know what to do as an opponent, you have one of 3 options. The first one is just play the matchup, just like poke your opponent, see what they do, and like if they just like randomly use like a low attack, any low attack you can do in this game, you can just punish you can punish with like a while standing forward, which is totally safe on block. On hit, it gets plus frames. Like Mishima's is +7, but with Armor King it's +5, I believe. I think it's +5. And it's also a pretty chunky hitbox too. Also, most characters generally have this universal while standing forward move. It's pretty good. I would actually recommend using it. So like, and they're just like doing moves that like are pretty linear. So like, you just start sidestepping, you start outplaying them. That's really the best way you can beat a character you're not familiar with. Just outplay them. Like, you just control space, you get in close, do mix-ups, and you're fine. Really, I mean, certainly like if your opponent suddenly gets in close and you start doing moves you never seen before, like if you're fighting like I don't know, Dr. Bosconovich, and he does like some crazy shit you've never seen before. Yeah, you're probably gonna eat some hits, but if you just play it cool and play it cool especially, and you just take your time, you should be fine. And honestly, you just gotta like play the matchup, learn what you're doing, and you'll probably win about 60 or 70% of the games. It's not that bad. You can probably take a few rounds that way. So that's number one. Experiment with like what you think is punishable. Like, actually, I should probably explain it right now. So, nope. Hang on a sec. I know a lot of the Mishimas inside and out. Like, I know every Mishima probably about 80% through, like, because of some certain guys online. So because of that, I can definitely tell you what they have that's safe or what's not. But that's just because of me like playing the game and just getting like natural knowledge through it. So like, let's just say Double Jin throws out like this 1-1-2, which I can already tell you it's like -10 or something like that. It's not. Never mind, it's not -12. Holy shit. So like he's throwing this out, and you don't know how much it is, or I don't know. He's like doing. Oh shit, hang on. Or is like doing, I don't know, down 4-1-2, which is a pretty good move. There's nothing wrong with just getting into like a trade war. Like, you just start using your low risk, low reward moves, like your 10 frame jabs or other stuff. I know this move's pretty linear. Hang on. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Wait, what the hell? That did just hit me like when I was all the way over there, did it? Okay, cool. Like, yeah, attack's pretty linear, but anyway. So, like, there's nothing wrong with just, like, experimenting. It's like, oh, I don't know how much that is, so I'm just gonna, like, jab it. Good stuff. I don't know. Or, like, he's just, like, throwing out jabs. Again, there's nothing wrong with just, like, throwing out jabs that you think are punishable. However, then you want to take it up a notch. Like, he keeps using this one fucking move over and over again. Like, nope. Oh, wait. That's a good one to experiment with. So he does this, which is a pretty good crush move. His Jambu Spear, I think it's called, back 3. So he's doing this shit, and you don't know how unsafe it is. So you're just like, well, I don't want to go too crazy and start getting punished myself. But he does that, and you start experimenting. Like, just go up the ladder, like -10. Alright, so you like just experimenting mid-match and learning on the fly. -12. -15. -14. Wall Splat has also. -15. -15. Jambu Spear is pretty unsafe in block, but you know what I'm talking about. So you just like start experimenting. Just like start feeling them out. Just like start punishing with random moves, and you should be fine. Like, again, that's just fitting into the like learn matchup on the fly though. It's like naturally. So that's step 1. Method 2 is to do hard research into the character online and seeing what the weaknesses are. I actually forgot to mention this back when you're actually studying into your character. You want to know what your character's weaknesses are. Like, when I got to learning Armor King and Bruce, I already knew their homing attacks were pretty bad. Like, well, they're tracking you. It's like 4-4-3 is a fantastic move. It's a homing move and it knocks down for like guaranteed shit. But outside of that, his normal pokes don't have a lot of tracking unless you dedicate yourself to one. Bruce, same story, except he's got like down forward 4, which is pretty good, down forward 1, but he doesn't have any like other dedicated like tracking moves outside of like if you want to go big. So you know what I mean, like just if you're playing a zoning character, chances are pretty good they won't have any strong melee attacks. If you're playing a speedy character, they'll probably have weak hit points. If you're playing a balanced character, they don't have any implicit weaknesses or explicit ones, but they're also don't excel at anything, so they can generally like Deviation here. Like he's a character, he's like a very well balanced Mishima. He's got good pokes, he's got good punishers, he's got just an all-around solid moveset. So how do you beat that? Well, you just gotta outplay him, like Bruce. Just use Bruce and outpoke him, or Armor King. Just like get him good setups and just like play really well. Just like anticipate what he's gonna do stuff accordingly, know how to play, and you could basically be a really well-rounded character like that, or yeah, just like anything like that. So that's method 2. Just do hard research, figure out what their weaknesses are, what their most used moves are, and how to counter them accordingly. Like I can definitely tell you, this is personal experience. Martial Law, Tekken Revolution. I fucking hate that character in that game because everyone uses him. Everyone drops like all their power points into that character, so he's gonna take off like maybe a third of my health with every like low attack he uses. He's fucking crazy. So no, I looked into his frame data and I was like, oh, what's that? Dragon Flip is like minus 15. I'm gonna punish that. What's that? Dragon Tail. It happens to be like minus infinity on block. Gonna punish that. Invincibility moves. Pathetic. Those things are like minus 30 on block. I think they're fucking nuts. But anyway, yeah, just if there's any one particular character that gives you hell online or is like against friends, just learn the matchup. Just like, you know, just go like Shoryuken or 8-way run or Tekken Zaibatsu and learn what the weaknesses are, and you can pretty much overcome them. And the last one, the last method for being a character or being an opponent, and this is assuming that all else fails, like you're playing the matchup and you're fighting like a really high tier character, like maybe like Lars or like God forbid Jinpachi, and you look down the list, you don't know, your opponent's just way too solid, you don't know how to fight everything. The last ditch effort you should do is learn the character. Like, I'm not saying look up the weaknesses, actually learn how to play as them, so that way you can fight them accordingly. Personally, like I said, I've played a lot of characters in Tekken so far. Like, I've tried King, I hate him. I've played Jin, Kazuya, Heihachi, Devil Jin, Jinpachi. I've tried Lily once or twice. I've used Nina. I've used JC. I've used a good few other characters personally through the time I've had with Tekken so far. Is there anyone else? Nah, that was basically it. But you know what I mean. Like, oh yeah, I did try Raven once, but he sucks. So that, like, natural time has taught me, because I've used the characters before, how to fight against them. Like, I can definitely tell you, I know how to block against like a general like Jin mix-up, unless it's like a good character. But I know how to block them. I know how to fight against them. If you don't know how to fight against a certain character, consider picking them up for like maybe a week, and just learn the ins and outs, like what makes them good, how to mess with their head, how to break their mix-up, especially. Like, I'm gonna tell you a big secret right now. Actually, hang on. Actually, I should have shown you this earlier, but I have another character on standby besides Devil Jin. It's Heihachi. Now I'm gonna show you something crazy. Heihachi is arguably one of the best mid attacks in the game, if not the best. It's his forward 2 move. This absurdly good mid attack that even on block, it gives you a hell of a lot of knockback. And on its own, you can like tag buffer it, like go into like another character for like a extended combo. Actually, hang on a sec. Nope. Yeah, no, I'm pretty bad at that. But anyway, 4-4-2, a ridiculously good move. If you're a Heihachi, expect to see that move. So what do you do against it? Well, it's this really strong mid attack that is just like comes out of nowhere. You don't know what to do against it. Learn your character specifically. Learn what you have for long range punishers. Like the trick to his 4-4-2 is that it's minus 16. However, because of the crazy amount of knockback it gives you, most characters can't even punish it. So what you want as a player want to do is learn your long range punishers and then learn how to deal with this. Like, don't think of this as homework, like, oh, well, I have to do this, otherwise I'm fucked, I can't beat him. No, just, like, learn how to beat it, because that does punish it. You know that he has this ridiculously good move that you want to, like, plan for accordingly. And when you fight this Heihachi online, you can fuck him over so hard with his knowledge. Like, oh shit, the best tool I have is gone now. What the hell do I do? Well, they're gonna have to change up your game plan. If you can't change, then you're fucked. So yeah, just like learn characters, and also don't be afraid of learning multiple characters. Especially like, not only will it serve you in the long run with multiple matchups, but also like show you different play styles. Like after using every Mishima, I can definitely tell you I suck with execution sometimes, especially for like wave dashes. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to hang with Armor King a little bit, maybe, but yeah, just have fun with it. At the end of the day, a fighting game is a video game. Just like learn multiple characters, see what they do. Maybe you'll have fun with a few of them. I don't know. And shit, I know as soon as I picked up Armor King, I was like having fun just using hell out of Giant Swing and learning all of his good shit setups. With Bruce, I have a blast just like knowing people fucking down with like all his counter hit moves and just like wall splaying them with like max damage. Also, his ridiculously good wall carry. Yeah, so I actually want to show off. Yeah. Crap. I'm pretty bad at this game, dude. Yeah, move out. Yeah, again, just have fun with it. But again, that's kind of like a last ditch thing. If you don't want to switch to another character, that's fine too. Just expect to be in for a bit of hell when you're fighting against another character that you have absolutely no knowledge of how to fight against. And yeah, that'll just about do it. If you follow this guide, you'll probably have you won't like immediately know how to like set up like any character in the game. Like with missions, you want to learn how to like wave dash, which I'm doing okay amount here. Yeah, I gotta practice that a little more actually. Like if you know how to like wave dash, you should be fine. Or no, what the hell am I talking about? Every character in Tekken, unlike a lot of other games, have like their own unique strategies in like tech traps, frame setups, punishers. Just at the end of the day, have fun with it. Yeah, I think that'll just about do it. So next time, I'm gonna show you guys how to really fuck up an opponent. Oh, it's gonna be good. Since there generally are a lot of like opponents you can fight against. I'm gonna give you the ins and outs of what a lot of them generally do. And after that, I'm probably going to show you some online matches to show you how to really fuck someone up. So, yeah. See you then.